Hi everyone and welcome. So today we start the 28-day fat loss challenge. It's not too late to join. Get signed up and I can send over all the details to you. If you have already joined, that's brilliant. I'm just going to go through some of the things that might trip you up and explain a few things. By now, if you've already signed up, you would have received your ebook with all of the information that you need. I do suggest that you read it a few times so it can sink in. It can be, it's not confusing. It's really, I've tried to keep it as simple as possible, but it seems like there's a lot of information. So read it all through, then break it down into the days you're going to go training, then break it down to the food, and then the things that you've got to go and buy, the supplements, and when you're going to do that. So I thought I'd just chat about a few of those things that may come up for you. So, and also, okay, so let's get started. Food. Okay, so I've given you a grocery list of what you're allowed to have. And so on that list, you can choose anything, anything of those things, you know, be as imaginative as possible. There isn't loads and loads and loads of choices, but it's much easier to keep it super simple. Super simple on your choice of carbs, super simple on your choice of proteins, and fats. You only get a small amount of fats because they're high in calories, so we can't have loads and loads and loads of fats. So what I've done is I've worked out an example of how I want you to do it. I've given you all the information, so you need to work out your body weight in pounds. So do that little calculation, whether you work in stone or kilos, change it over, go on Google and change it over to pounds. So when you've got your weight in pounds, I'll give you an example here. I've just done mine. So I weigh 130 pounds, and then so I need to know what quantity of protein I'm allowed to have. So what I do is I will times it by 1.18. So it's 130 by 1.18. Okay, so that's going to give me 153 grams of protein for the day. Okay, so that's what I get. And then, which works out quite nicely for me if I'm going to have like 5 meals. It ends up that I get about 30 grams of protein for each meal. And for me, that would, you know, like just to give you an example, 30 grams of protein would be a chicken fillet, something like that. Obviously, you need to check the ingredients because fish is a slightly less protein in it. So if you're looking to do sort of 30 grams of protein, you need to check your fish, see how much protein's in that. If it's beef, I think it's slightly more protein, so you actually get a less beef. So that's why I tend to use chicken and turkey, because you get quite a lot of food for actually how much protein. Okay, so I need to work out my carbs. So I weigh 130 pounds. So take your weight in pounds and then you times that by 0.65, okay, which is going to give me 84.5 grams of carbs a day. Okay, on my non-training days, that's the day that I'm not going to go and lift and go to the gym, I've got slightly less carbs. And that is 130 grams, 130 pounds in weight, how much I weigh, and then I times that by 0.50. So I get 65 grams of carbs on my non-training days, which is kind of good because you know that when you go training, you get extra food as well. So that's quite nice. And you need that extra food to be able to lift. Okay, so, and then I'm going to work out my fats. So work out my fats, I'm 130 pounds, so I just divide that by 4, and it's giving me 32 grams of fats I'm allowed. So what I do with that is I go into MyFitnessPal, and I'm going to join Premium for a month. It's free for a month. So if you join that for a month, and then I'm going to get with Premium, I just click on Premium Features or More, and you click on that. It gives you the ability to put down not just your calories, because we're not working on that. We're working on how many macros. So the macros are your protein, your carbs, and your fats. So you go into the extra features, I think it's the third one down, and it says proteins, fats and carbs. So if you click on that, it will give you your macros in percentage or grams. So if you click on grams, and then you type in your calculations that you've worked out. So I would type in 153 grams of protein. I will type in 84 grams of protein, 84 grams of carbs, and then I would put in my fats at 32 grams. And then it actually works out the percentages for you, but you don't need that. Then you can set your meals off of that. So you can choose anything from your list, add it, and then it will knock it off and it will tell you how much you've got left and what you're eating. And then say you put your chicken breast in and then your green veg in, you can tap all of that in. Well, actually, you don't need to tap your green veg in. That's all free. You get as much green veg as you need. I see. But the good thing about doing it on the Fitness Pal is you can set sort of different days. You can put it in, like on your non-training days, you can put in that you get less carbs, and it will allow you on Tuesday and Wednesday, whatever day you choose that you don't go to the gym, you can put in less carbs. So that works out really well. And also you can plan your meals. You can book in things that you know you're definitely going to eat at certain times, so you can put them in your next few days, in your weeks, which works out quite well. What I find with my Fitness Pal is to have a play with it, work out, see, yeah, that looks right, that looks right, that looks right. I know what I'm doing now. Just takes a few minutes to get used to kind of setting it up. But once you've set it up, it's really easy then. And then you know your macros, so you know your proteins, your carbs, and your fats, and then as long as you stay in your target. Okay, you can also put exercise and water on there, but that doesn't matter as long as you do what it says on your ebook. Okay, so supplements, you probably think, oh, it sounds like there's quite a lot of supplements. They all do different things and they're all worth it, and they're not really, really expensive things, and they will super help with your recovery, for muscle development and general health and well-being. So when I wake up, I get my vitamin C, my omegas and my multivitamin, and then I put it's usually a good idea to fill up a big lot of water, drink that with your BCAAs. The good thing about if you get the BCAAs with like a flavour in it, it tastes super nice, it tastes like a juice, so you drink that. And then you have your apple cider vinegar. I know it tastes yuck, and I've got about 3 on my shelf, and I always keep trying to buy a new, different brand, because I'm always hoping that that I'll find one that is really nice. They don't taste nice. They taste vinegary, because that's what they are, but they're so good for your metabolism. There's so many health benefits to apple cider vinegar. Just learn to like it. It's one of those things, I actually have it with warm water. Some people just down it, that's it, tablespoon, down it and have it. But I kind of sip mine with warm water, and I don't know why, but it seems to go down quite well with that. That's okay. So do that one. Try and find one you like, and then do it with warm water if it's too much for you. Okay, so, and then before we go training, we have the L-carnitine. The good thing about this is it really helps with your fat loss. It breaks down fat cells, shuttles it out, and you really need that for just before training. Okay, so that's going to help burn that fat cells, and that's exactly what we want to do. So during training, I would have your BCAAs, so you had your amino acids through your training for muscle development, and then afterwards have your protein shake, and then I usually have all the amino acids in that, all the ones that I've listed, have that in your protein shake after. And then, okay, when we're having food, because we actually there's some people that have joined that really don't eat a lot of food. So actually, for them, you're getting a lot of food and you're eating sort of 5 or 6 times a day. And for some people, that feels like quite a lot. And I understand that that's scary. But But if you're someone who isn't used to eating, make sure you have your digestive enzymes. It helps break down the food, especially if you're not used to eating any protein, things like that. To have that, it helps break it down for you and makes you digest it easier. So that's a good one for people that haven't been eating a lot. But we do need to eat, because that is the best thing for your metabolism, is to get it moving, get your metabolism raised. And then literally, when I was bodybuilding, you every bit of food that you ate, you know, like you could have ended up having double your calories because you were just eating the whole time. But your body was it was a machine; it would just burn it all off. Okay, what else do we need? Oh yeah, for sleep. I usually have ZMA, which is zinc, magnesium. There's nothing weird in it. But it really helps promote sleep and muscle growth. And then you have your apple cider vinegar at night time as well. Sorry about that. What else do you want to talk about? Oh yeah, I mocked myself up. I went into my fitness plan. I mocked myself up like a rough idea of what my meals would look like with the macros that I've been given. So, and if anybody wants me to send them this example, I can do that. I mean, obviously I've done it at my weight, because everybody's weight's going to be different, and everybody's calculation's going to be different, because there's so many people that have different heights, different sizes, different weights, and you're an individual, so your precise grammage for your proteins, your carbs, and your fats is going to be different. But I've got an example of what I worked out here. So for breakfast, 8 a.m, I would have my porridge and I would have my protein shake. Okay, and then in my porridge, I'd have a little bit of fat. I'd have some almond butter and cinnamon. Cinnamon's lovely. It's so nice in porridge. And obviously, I'm only going to cook my porridge. Sometimes I soak them overnight, which is nice because they really swell up. I always put boiling hot water on my oats and let them sit for a little bit anyway, because they expand. And it saves them expanding inside my tummy. And I don't want to do that. I want them to expand on the outside. So they're expanding there. And then also that feels like there's loads more food. So I had 30 grams and I'd had some protein shake, and then I had 10 grams of almond butter. It's made with water, so you've not got milk and sugar and all those kind of things. If you want something to sweeten it, put some cinnamon on. It works really well. And then at 11 o'clock, I put myself down for 120 grams of chicken. Yeah, so I'll weigh that up, and that's actually only about 30 grams of protein. And then I had a scrambled egg, just one egg. There's quite a lot of fats in eggs. So there's not. So if I do have scrambled egg in the future, I've allowed myself one egg there. But sometimes if I do have scrambled egg as an option, I would have 2 eggs, and then if I needed any extra, I'd add just the egg whites, because there's no fat in that, and it's pure protein. And then I would have, so for my 11 o'clock, I'm having chicken, I'm having 1 egg, and I'm having a pile of veg. At 2 o'clock, I'm having some fish, I'm having some sweet potato, and then I'm cooking that in a bit of coconut oil, chopping it up, and I'm putting it in the oven. Okay. And then at 5 o'clock, I know it sounds like food, doesn't it? It's what it is. It is like that. And at 5 o'clock, I'm having, because I'm going to go to the gym at 6. So I'm going to set off for the gym at 6. So at 5 o'clock, I'm going to have some carbs. So I'm going to have a bowl of protein. I'm going to have a protein shake. And that's my kind of pre-workout food. I'm going to have that. So it's going to give me lots of energy for the gym. So I'm going to go to the gym at 6, and then my post-workout will be my protein shake, or it will be, when I get back, it will be some more fish and veg. And then before I go to bed, I'd either have a protein shake, or I'd have, I've got this little concoction that we used to do quite a lot, and it is a low-fat cottage cheese. I don't like cottage cheese on its own, so I'm not a weirdo. So cottage cheese with some protein for the flavour, and it's a bit of almond milk and water as well. And then if you whisk it and blend it up, it's actually like a thick milkshake, and I would have that before I go to bed. So I'm not going to bed hungry. I've got plenty of food in my tummy, and actually it tastes lovely. I have it with like chocolate protein. That's really nice. As long as it fits, and I've calculated all of my requirements for that day. Okay, so that actually worked out at 156 grams of protein, 32 grams of fat, and 84 grams of carbs. So all of that food worked out at that. So it is possible, and actually it totals about 1,300 calories. And that's, yeah, so I'm pretty much about 1,300 calories in a day. That's what it's calculating me with my macros. So that kind of gives you an idea of how to plan out your food. And you can actually eat quite a lot of food, and I want you to eat quite a lot of food. And I want you to have plenty of protein, and I want you to fill up on that. And then if you get hungry that you need a snack through the day, even though you're going to be eating, you can see why you prep all your food, because then every 3 hours you've got your food. It's there. It's a small size, but it's there, and it's like, oh, this is all right. This is good. And then in between, the drinks that you're allowed is no milk. If you want any milk in your coffee, then it would be almond milk. One of those, but mark it down as well. See what the calories are. Get the unsweetened. There's hardly any calories, but you still need to put it into your macros. I have black coffee now. Just trained myself to like it black, so I don't have any milk. Water, and then if I want something with flavour, I fill a big container up with, like I said, BCAAs, and then I'll drink that through the day. I want you to drink 2 to 3 litres a day. And a lot of people don't like water on their own, so add the BCAAs, get a flavoured one. I've got the watermelon one, which tastes really nice, and so I can sup that through the day. Okay, so and then like I would do my cardio. Say I would have my breakfast, then I'd go out for my 30 minutes, either outside or at the gym, and then I would do my training later on, and then when I came back, I would go and do another 30, or I would do my 30 minutes after I've done my weight training. Okay? As many times as you're out and about, it isn't like a stroll to the shops. I mean, you need to be moving. It needs to be scheduled in as well. If you schedule it in, it's not like, oh, well, I walk to the bus anyway, or I walk to the shops, or I'm out with some toddlers, because toddlers walk about like so slow. You're like, you stand there, that is not out walking. You want to schedule your walk, bosh, get your headphones in, listen to something motivating, bosh, get it done. And then the more you do it, the better it's going to be, the easier it's going to be. If you're going to do your cardio in a gym, then do it, set it on the, it is only walking, but your Stairmaster or your treadmill, set them really high, so it feels like you're walking uphill. Okay, so this is going to get your heart rate at the right beats, so that you're in a fat burning state. Okay, nothing extreme, but you will feel it, especially if you're not used to doing it. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. I understand that you're going to have muscle soreness from weight training. You are, and that's why we recommend all those supplements to take that away as well. Don't think that you've got an injury if you go to the gym the next day or 2 days later and you're like, oh, the backs of my legs are still hurting from when I did my hamstrings. Maybe I shouldn't do them. No, you do what you're told to do. I might actually only put 1 leg day in the program. I always do 2 leg days. Yeah, it is like the next day you're like, oh my God, as you're walking down the stairs, things like that, or sitting on the toilet, that kind of thing. But you kind of get used to having that, and you kind of look forward to having that, because then you know that you did a really good job. You did a really good job because your muscles hurt. You haven't got an injury, you haven't pulled anything, you've just got muscle soreness, because what happens when you grow in your muscles is you break down the fibers, and you and then your body rebuilds them, but it rebuilds them stronger and bigger, and that's how you manage to grow muscles. Okay. And so, yeah, get used to the soreness. It will happen, but you'll learn to love it and appreciate it and think, wow, this is amazing. I'm doing a good job here. Right, okay, let me have a look, see what else, if there's anything that might trip you up. Obviously, you want to know anything, just, you know, fire me over a message or put a comment under here if there's anything if you're stuck on and not sure about. I'm hoping I've been very thorough in all the training. If you're doing this, there's a couple of ladies that have got some injuries and they can't do the training. If you can't do the training, always have the lowest carbs set up. And obviously the results aren't going to be, I would say your food is so important. It really is the difference. So food's important, it really is the difference, but it's going to give you about 75%. Okay, so it may be that it takes longer if you're not doing the exercise as well. But I understand that if you've got an injury, it still can be done. You still can get that fat loss, and you still can get really good results from just doing the food. Yeah, this is all clean food, and you're going to get a lot to eat, but it's all clean, and you can get the right results without doing the gym work, but it's going to take you a bit longer. Okay, but I want you to give absolutely everything. If we can get you some results in 28 days, and you're going to be super proud of yourself, and you'll want to carry it on. Okay. What else? Is there anything else in here? I've gone through every day. Right. If any of the exercises you don't understand, just have a look them up, or because I've tried to keep it as simple as possible. And obviously you do your morning and evening cardio, and then as the weeks go on, we do a little bit more cardio, a little bit more walking cardio. And then I think the last week I've been super mean and added in ab crunches and things like that. But, you know, there you go. You'll love it by then. You'll want to do them by then. So obviously you're going to hate me for the first few weeks, and then when trying to get your head around what you've got to do. But once you get in that good routine, honestly, you'll be off and running, and you'll be like, yeah, this is okay. I've got to spend a couple of days doing this prep stuff, but once I've done that, I've actually got more time. And then you do have to give time to yourself. You book these kids to go here, there, and everywhere, and crashes and things like that. But it's going to benefit the whole family. This thing that you're doing is going to benefit the whole family. It really is. So if you want my meal plan example, just let me know and I can send it over. If not, just go off the list that I've given you. Check the protein content, the carb content, and plug in all your macros like I've told you to, and you should be jobs are good. Okay, so I hope that gives you some sort of explanation, and I'll speak to you soon.